before Christina introduces the fighters, I want to say a couple of things. In these features, co-features, what we've tried to do is to bring back rivalries that people understand. Now, in one fight that we'll get to in a second, we have a great traditional rivalry that Mexican fans understand. We have a fighter from Mexico City fighting a fighter from northern Mexico, namely Tijuana. Now, that rivalry has existed in boxing for years, typified by the three great Morales-Pereira fights. Pereira being from Mexico City, and Morales, of course, from Tijuana. And then a second rivalry that everybody knows who has
the biggest win of your career, a spectacular knockout of 2016 Olympian Antonio Vargas. What did you take away from that experience? Cardi's going to translate that for everybody.
De la pelea, de la victoria más importante de tu carrera, ante un olímpico del 2016, Antonio Vargas. ¿Qué te llevas de esa experiencia?
Fue una pelea muy buena, dura, para la que me preparé a conciencia, porque sé que venían cosas importantes y pues aquí estamos y venimos a ganar.
That was a great fight. I prepared myself very well because of that.
Carlos Padres, good to see you again. What does it mean to you? I'm going to kind of piggyback on what Bob said about that rivalry. You representing Mexico City here on Mexican Independence Day weekend.
¿Qué significa?
Bueno, me siento muy contento de estar aquí en la ciudad de Las Vegas, en una gran cartelera. Quiero agradecer a Top Rank, a Taken Promotion, al WBC que siempre me apoya y pues quiero que sepan que voy a tener una gran pelea. Vengo bien preparado, quiero volver a ser campeón mundial y ahora se pone José María Cárdenas en el camino y nada más hay que despacharlo con lo que hice en el gimnasio. Aquí tengo tu medicina, papá.
He's very happy to be in a big car in Vegas.
That was an outstanding fight. Although Ramirez is out for the rest of this year, healing a hand injury.
He'll be coming here.
Great.
Jose will be here for the fight.
Fantastic.
He's a great admirer of yours. You gave him a hell of a fight.
You want a rematch in that fight, don't you?
Yeah, hopefully if everything goes good, first I gotta think about Pedraza. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about Ramirez and I, and a lot of people that I won, a lot of people that he won. It was for sure a close fight. If I win this fight, hopefully we could do a rematch. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah. All right, I know. Moving up now to 140. We talked a little bit about it after your last fight. You kind of knew your body was ready to move up. Is that really what made you want to move up? Was it the weight or is it the opportunities that are presented to you at 140?
En la última pelea hablamos sobre posiblemente subir de pesos. ¿Subiste por el que no puedes dar la 135 ya o fue por la oportunidad del 140?
No, definitivamente fue por la oportunidad que se me pueden presentar en esta nueva división. Tengo unas metas por recorrer, así que movemos por esos propósitos.
I moved up in weight because of the opportunities that
Well, Pedraza gave him hell, and the fight before that, he beat a Mexican, right?
Sería una de las metas que trazaría en mi vida, así que sería un reto y una oportunidad para las futuras metas que tengo.
it would be great for me, it would be great for Puerto Rico, and that's one of my life goals, to become a 3-time world champion.
But first he has to get past Zepeda. His thoughts on Zepeda and what kind of performance that they're going to deliver on Saturday night.
Antes de pelear por un título en 140 tienes que salir de la pelea con Cepeda.
Definitivamente, así mismo subo a una división nueva, con grandes retos, con boxeadores del calibre mundial y de eso es lo que queremos buscar. Primero tenemos que pasar a José Cepeda para tener esta oportunidad mundial.
Definitely, we have to get one fight at a time. We know we are going up to a division where there's a lot of good fighters, world caliber fighters. and we have to take care of Cepeda first to get to that title opportunity.
Those of you who are here now know the great contributions and the great Manny Pacquiao and what he accomplished. But before Manny Pacquiao, long before Manny Pacquiao, the first Filipino to win a world championship was the legendary Flash Elordi. He was the icon that every fighter, including Manny Pacquiao, wanted to model himself after. We have on this card his grandson, Juan Miguel. And Juan Miguel Elordi is not only the grandson of Flash Elordi, but a fighter who has made the Philippines proud with his accomplishments. And in honor of that, we've made a picture, a print of a famous painting that the great artist Leroy Neiman, who did Ali and all the great boxers, painted. And we're going to present this print now to his Flash Elordi, to his grandson. Ended up here.
Yeah.
Right? Last month, you remember, back in California, in great soccer stadium downtown in LA, next to USC, and the Coliseum. This young man was the main event. And after his fight, where he dispatched his opponent in 3 rounds, it occurred to me that maybe we could convince him to fight on this very important Mexican Independence Day weekend. So I talked with Fernando Beltran, and we got into the ring, and we asked Emmanuel, would he be ready to fight on Independence Day? And the answer came quicker than your punch. Like in 5 seconds, he said, absolutely, Mexican Independence Day. I'm not going to celebrate this victory. I'm going into the gym. I want to fight on that week.
Yeah.
So there's a great warrior. Yes. Great warrior.
And Bob, kind of like what you said yesterday, right? A throwback type of fighter, where these guys didn't take, 2 fights a year. They fought, 2 times a month if they could have the chance, the opportunity. It's not unforeseen in boxing that someone.
If you're a fighter and you're fighting just for the money, then you want to fight as infrequently as possible, as long as the money is good for the fights that you do. If you're a fighter, you want to fight as much as possible. This kid here, if he could, his injuries and so forth, would fight 8 times a year and be happy, right? Ocho.
Eto na ho. Picture ho with Bob Arum and the family.
Okay, so take Bob over there. Yeah, Keith. Okay, all right. Was he thinking special?
Bob, what's your message for the Filipino people for
People are
Elordi?
great people. They're great fighters. The grandfather of Juan Miguel is who started it all. He was the first great Filipino fighter in the United States, the first world champion, and his grandson is a chip off the old block. So I'm delighted to have him here in this event. I mean, it's a great honor for me to promote somebody from the Elordi family.
Can you feel that he might be the next Manny Pacquiao of the Philippines?
Well, he could be, yeah. I mean, that's what he's here for. I mean, Manny Pacquiao certainly took over the mantle and was a great credit, is a great credit to boxing in the Philippines. And Juan Miguel Elordi hopes to follow in the footsteps of his grandfather and Manny Pacquiao.
What's your prediction for his fight on Saturday?
I think it's a great fight. Remember, Navarrete is a really good fight. But the fight is going to be sensational because of the way, the style of these fighters. I mean, people are going to be up on their seat cheering and yelling. It's going to be a really great fight. Really will be.
So it's gonna be another Mexico-Philippines fight
Yeah,
that people
that'd
love.
be great. Yeah. I should have Manny here and one Manuel, right? Marquez, yeah.
Right, thank you very much. And last, what's the feeling that just presenting a souvenir of our Flash Elorde to the family?
Well, I thought that was a great idea. When we talked about it in the office, Bruce Trampler, who's my matchmaker, said he has the original painting. And so we took a picture of it and we presented it. I mean, that's great. I mean, really makes my heart feel good.
Thank you, Bob. Have a nice day.
The bad news is that there won't be any songs sung tonight because Dan, would you come up here? Dan, the trainer of Tyson Fury, and explain the situation.
Yeah, Tyson's okay. As you all know, he's shown plenty of times before that he's got a ton of heart, and that's what he had to show tonight. Otto, a man that was, fighting with the inspiration of his passing father, which I want to say he done proud, that's for sure. But it was one of those fights Tyson had to, although we all know Tyson's got the boxing ability and a skill set, but sometimes you have to be able to fight as well, and Tyson's shown that he's able to do that.
Ben, over here, question for you. Did you feel like Tyson's, right in the front, did you feel like Tyson's body work was the difference? I mean, it seemed like he was really going hard to the body, especially after the cut. It seemed like he got pissed off, and I thought maybe slowed Otto's pace down a lot in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, I had a feeling in the back of my mind that the fight was going to have to go that way. I knew that Otto could box, knew that he had good pedigree, and I knew that he could make himself awkward. But I also knew that he didn't have the engine of Tyson, the size of Tyson, the heart of Tyson, the desire of him, and I knew that we had to have it in case he needed it, because I had a feeling that he might need it, and it turned out that he did, but luckily he had it in the lockup.
How much inside fighting did you work on during training camp?
Yeah, we worked on quite a bit, like I just said there. I had a feeling that I knew that obviously I didn't expect there to be a big cut and it to start that way, but I expected Tyson to dominate at distance in the early rounds. Then I had a feeling that Otto had to make a decision, which I didn't know whether he'd make. I didn't know if he'd look to try and close the gap up or if he'd look to keep it at long range. And if he kept it at long range as he slowed down, we worked on Tyson closing that distance and using his physical size to get the job done. Didn't turn out exactly that way, but it turned out that Tyson needed it, and luckily enough, he had it.
Ben, could you explain to us basically the role that Jorge Capetillo has in the camp with you guys? Obviously, the last fight was the first fight that he worked alongside with you in the corner. Could you explain the role that he has? Today we saw him working on the cut, which he's not really known for. Could you kind of clarify that up, please?
Yeah, Jorge's, ever since we've been finishing our training camps off over in Las Vegas, Jorge's looked after us, treated us well, and he's been a real help in the gym day in, day out, and he's been an absolute pleasure to be around. He's an absolute gentleman, I've got to say that he's done a fantastic job on that. He got Tyson through from a cut in the third round, I think it happened, through to the 12th, so I want to thank Jorge for that. I want to thank him for how he's treated us, how he's made us feel, and him just being an absolute gentleman. Like I said, he's helped us out in the gym. He's been an absolute pleasure and a massive asset. At least I'm better looking than you now, eh?
Otto, over here to your right. To your right. What was the impact of the Tyson's body work on you? And secondarily, it seemed like you were really making a habit of going after the cut, trying to work on it after the punch had opened it up. Seemed like you were trying to maybe widen it. Can you talk about those two things, please?
Yeah, he was leaning on me a little bit on the ropes, and he would some good body shots, but I could take it, and with the cut, it was a good punch that opened it, and I tried to stay on it, and I wish I could have capitalized more on it.
Any other questions?
Otto, to your left over here. Can you give me a sense of what Tyson with that cut? Did you sense that it was bothering him, and how much was it bothering him?
Yeah, it was bothering him some because the blood was coming down. He was shaking his head to get the blood out and try to get it off. So I'm sure it was bothering him some.
Tyson over here. Just if you summarize how you feel about the game right now afterwards, what do you take with you from this fight?
I did everything I could. I left it all in the ring, and unfortunately it wasn't enough. And Tyson is a great champion, and he deserved the win.
I think it was in the 5th round the doctor looked at the cut, and then he really came out with, it seemed like a sense of urgency. Did you notice that too, that he was really trying to step on the gas at that point?
Yeah, I felt he was trying, and I just wanted to keep going and hit the cut more, and try to break him down. And, yeah.
Otto, he's such a big man, and he was leaning on you, and that a lot of that looked as if it wore you down, took some of the strength away from you. Did you feel that as the fight went on, his strength?
A little bit. It was it was a lot of things. He did a lot of things good in there, and he's a big guy. It wasn't easy to get to him. And yeah, he's a great champion, and I got a lot of respect for him. Otto, Philippine News Today here. Were you expecting him to be fighting on the inside and be seriously physical with you in this fight? Yeah. I thought that he was gonna come out faster and trying to stay on me, but he didn't. And I wasn't surprised that he was trying to fight on the inside. And we were ready for that. And I felt that he hit me with some good shots there, and I hit him with some good shots there. Yeah. Yeah. Big thank you for Joey. Without him, I wouldn't be here. So. I have everything to thank Joey for. And we had a great game plan, like Dimitri said. And yeah, Joey and me have been together for a long time now, and we gotta keep going and we'll come back better. And thanks to Dimitri for making this happen too, and these guys.
Otto right here, Adriana Jimenez with Fino Boxing. How do you feel about the judge's decision? Do you feel that you won the fight? Do you feel you got robbed?
I think he used his experience to steal some rounds. I know there were some close rounds, and usually they give that to the champion. And I wish I could have stayed on him a little more to steal those rounds like he did. But it was a fair decision.
Any more questions?
Just one other one for Otto. In the 11th round at the end, how bad were you? It seemed like he hit you with a body shot and you kind of doubled over. Was that his best shot that he hit you with at that point?
I can't even remember. He was a good shot, but I kept fighting and kept trying.
See how Dimitri knows how to spit?
But it's true. I mean, I came back. I tried.
That's true. So you won. What do you expect?
Until in the great fight with John Lewis. Great fight. Actually, Andy.
But what happens tonight is that we have a new heavyweight, and
new top heavyweight in the division, and Otto did a great job. I think better than everyone gave him credit for. He showed that he had the skills to win. He showed a great chin, showed heart, showed determination, showed a great corner in Joey Gamache that built a fantastic fight plan from the beginning to end. When Tyson was aggressive, when he wasn't aggressive. I mean, Otto really was prepared mentally and physically to deal with everything that Tyson had to offer. And even the stuff that Tyson did on the inside, I know because I've seen them work together. And this was really a tremendous game plan for both of them. And Otto has never really fought on this level and never really been in the spotlight of this magnitude. So I want to thank Mr. Arum and Top Rank and Frank Warren and Team Fury. But Otto did an amazing job, and he should be recognized as one of the top heavyweights in the world.
And you have to say about Dan and the Tyson Fury camp. They never underestimated Otto Wallin. They don't listen to what Eddie Hearn says. They know Eddie Hearn doesn't know shit about boxing. They knew Otto Wallin was a good fighter and would give it his all, which he did. And if they hadn't have prepared that way, there would have been another winner.
And those that paid attention to the fight, from a technical point of view, when Tyson in the second round went into the ropes and tried to show off into the rope-a-dope, Otto Wallin went to the body. When he went to the body, Tyson dropped a little bit, and that's when Otto Wallin hit him with the shot that caused the big cut. So that was.
You're a promoter, you don't get technical. You want to get technical, give the microphone to Joey Gamache.
He's speaking the truth. Dimitri speaking the truth.
Talk to him, baby.
All right.
Hey, Dan, one question for you. Are you concerned about the fight? How soon Tyson will be able to be back? He's going to fight in February. Based on what you saw, I know being at the hospital. From what you saw, would that be any concern of allowing him to fight in February?
I know boxing very well, but I'm not a surgeon. I couldn't comment on that. So we'll have to.
Maybe one of the fights of the year for the unified light heavyweight championship, Volcik and Beterbiev. Then we go to a great featherweight championship with our own Shakur Stevenson against Joet Gonzalez. Then we go to the California, Carson, California, and we have a really terrific match there, which is, I forget, what is it? What? Oh, Berchelt, yeah, Berchelt and Sosa, Mexican against Puerto Rican, great championship fight. And finally, the Fighting Marine gets to do his first title defense on the eve of both Marine Day and Veterans Day. Hoorah! Hoorah! So it's a great schedule. Boxing really is alive and well in this country, and I want to thank everybody for making it possible tonight. Thank you very much. Don't make up shit.
Bob, another impressive title defense. He says this time at 122 is having issues. I saw Ray Vargas there tonight. Any chance of making that fight, that unification bout?
Ray came over to me before. They brought him over. Bob Yalen, a good friend, brought him over and said he wanted to fight Navarrete. Now, again, that was before he watched Navarrete tonight. So if he still wants to fight Navarrete, I think it would be a great fight.
Was there room on your fall schedule, or do you think it's all booked up? Would it have to be early for next year?
Be early.
Okay.
Bob, did you happen to catch Devin Haney's performance last night?
No, I didn't. I read about it. And it was, it's good. Devin Haney is a very good fighter. I just hope they're taking their time with him because he does have the talent to really be a star. If they're going to rush him, and in the hands of Eddie Hearn, who doesn't know crap about boxing, that's a danger.
he may play him out.
Eddie
But-
last night said that he was going to make an offer to a huge offer for the Lomachenko
Eddie's
fight.
got to stop talking about my fighters and other fighters of other promoters, or else we're going to put a tortious interference suit right up his ass, and it'll float back to England.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bob.